For today's DIY, we're going to run to the craft store and grab some tiny little ornaments and some faux flowers that are glittery. First, we're going to start with these large tongue depressors, which you can get at the craft store. And we're going to cut those in half. So I marked it with a ruler, and then they cut really easily with some scissors, which is awesome. And you're going to need a bunch of these. So just cut up a bunch of these. And then we grabbed an embroidery hoop and pulled that apart. And we're going to take those little pieces of wood that we cut in half and we're going to glue them at the bottom. And this is going to hold up our two embroidery hoops to make it stand on its own, because this is going to be the base of our centerpiece. I started by adding the popsicle sticks and hot gluing them to one side and then hot glued it to the other side. And after I had the 3 pieces of wood on there, I added 2 more, 1 to each side, to make it even more stable. Next, I grabbed this little wood tray and I hot glued that in, and then that makes it just look more refined and like a finished piece. Then I grabbed my little ornaments, and I also had some little stars, and I just lined them up and glued them up one side. I made sure they were secure by adding glue to the front and the back, and just did that about 3/4 up onto one side. After I finished that, then I grabbed one of my flowers and I hot glued that down at the top, but not centered to the top. I put it to the right side. And then that long stem there that you didn't see me do, I wrapped that around just to make it more secure. Then I grabbed this little pearl branch, which was super cute, and I grabbed some floral wire, and I just cut some little pieces of that and held that down with the floral wire. And that really works really well. That's easier than hot gluing this part down. Then I grabbed a ribbon and I added that to the top and made a cute little bow. And then after I did the bow, then I added a couple more of those pieces of wood along the bottom, so it made it a flat surface. Then I grabbed these cute little twinkle lights that are battery operated and added those to the centerpiece. And look how beautiful this looks. Look how festive it already looks. And we're going to wrap those twinkle lights all the way around and kind of in and out of the piece. And then we took our little battery pack after we tucked in all the little fairy lights, and we hid that right in the back. I love the way this turned out. And I used a candle for the center of my little centerpiece. You could use a figurine like that little glitter tree duo that you see right in the front there. That would look really cute in the center. I hope this inspires you to make a really beautiful centerpiece for your holiday table.
The first thing that we're going to need to do to create this centerpiece is we're going to have a hoop in the middle of it, and I've already started to attach it into my centerpiece. So here is my now gold hoop, and I have attached it with zip ties. Now I have a bunch of floral foam. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to need. It kind of depends on how much stuff you want to put in here. But I do want some larger bricks to hold my hoop in place. So that's going to lean that way, and then we're going to put one on the opposite side to keep it nice and steady. And then we're going to figure out the placement of our trees. These are also going to keep that hoop in place. I kind of want one sitting up. So we might have to put something down there in the bottom to help raise that up. I'm just gonna... Now the next thing I want to do before we start adding in our greenery and flowers is I do want some little sparkly twinkle lights. So I've got these that have like a tiny little battery pack. Now the next thing we need to do is fill in the rest of our container with greenery and our flowers. I usually like to start with my greenery first and then add in my flowers. One note, you can put some moss on top of your green floral foam if you want to hide the green floral foam. I know that I'm going to have enough stuff in here that I am not going to need that to hide any of the floral foam, but it is definitely an option that you can do to fill in the space. You can lay it down And then as you're putting in your greenery, it's gonna hold that moss in place. You can also put little clips in there or little staples to put it into place. It's really up to you. All right, now I think it's time for us to add some flowers. So I am going to go more neutral tones since we've got a lot going on, but I'm gonna be using cream solo wood flowers in various different styles, as well as hydrangeas. The hydrangeas are, I had dyed already like a light green, kind of that lime green hydrangea look. These are gonna take up a ton of space. These are also gonna help us keep those lovely winter trees from falling over. And they look like little snowballs. Like, it's a win-win-win. I have them in both the greens and the cream, but this green is our only pop of color for our flowers. The rest are all cream flowers. And I have 3 of those, so I'm gonna disperse those kind of in a triangle. We've got one in the front, one over here, and we'll put one over on this other side as well, kind of mirroring the one, that's a word, the one on the other side. All right, so there's that. We're not done yet though, you guys. So we do have a couple of these as well. These are just bunches of the hydrangeas taken apart and turned into tiny little bunches. We may add those in if we need a little extra little accent of the green throughout, but let's get the cream flowers in and see where we are. All right, so the only decision we have left is, do we add this little touch of red? So I'm just gonna try one. We'll see if I like it, and if I do, we'll add some more. And if not, that's all right. We'll just save it for another day. All right, now, if we can find it. There's the one. Oh my gosh, how pretty did this turn out? I am so excited about how this wonderful centerpiece turned out. The twinkle lights just add a little extra something to it. I am going to display this on my fireplace for years to come, for sure. And the great thing about this project is everything can be taken apart and be used again for another holiday or season. I'm loving this so much. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and I'll see you right here on Home Talk for another tutorial. Bye.